them both up and just see what happens.
Well, I think especially when you...
Tak
Okay,
draftoš.
but I think it is curious to see if this Jax ban gets dropped, because Poppy, the Silas, personally, I feel like were bigger issues than actually a Jax coming
Kalista
through for
Aurora.
Torrent. So I am curious if that third ban here, after the only I expect to come through on red side here for Philly Billy, does end up opening up into something a bit different.
Karzi, tak to máš ještě dobrý. Já jsem měl v Americe jsem měl $7,000 výdaje měsíčně. 3K euro ještě v poho, ty vole. Berlin ještě v pohodě. Ne, $7K jsem měl za všechno, za všechny výdaje v Americe. Jone Aurora, konečně. Kalista Skarner. 100 jsme neplatili ubytování, no, neplatili. Kalista Skarner Vi, Jone Aurora, ok.
Probably could be something else, and the Ezreal is going to be the ban instead. Really interesting that they
Ezreal ban, okay.
This time around and the Poppy.
Yeah, it says to me that they kind of identified, look, we
Jack's
want to
first
play
pick.
dive against
Je tam
the top.
Poppy.
Let's just make sure that that Ezreal that can try and escape is going to be totally
Silas.
fine. Immediate pickup of the Jax on the side. Oh my God, we're
To
so
si děláte prdel.
Alright, the Silas
Ash
is gonna be
Silas,
locked in.
okay.
How's your rise, Zeko? That's always been the answer to the Silas, right, guys?
Well, I think this is really interesting, because I think what BLG identified was, hey, if we give the Jax, we can actually take the Ashe, because the Silas problem is that if we take Ashe, the enemy team gets an Ashe ult, right?
Teďka tam
But
ukazuje
they're in a
Ahri.
position where you have a good matchup
Tam
as
tu
the
je,
Silas
podle mě ale
and
nepěkná
Ahri.
Ahri.
You don't have that stolen away Ashe arrow, you basically win out on bot lane push, and now you get that
Nebo co
counter pick
pikneš
on
do
the top side as
Silasem?
well, but it is a curiosity.
Pikne tu Ahri.
Being-
A piknu Vi je v banu, ale.
I'm baffled as
Big
well.
BLG
Ahri,
fan right now.
Jax.
First two picks, because the Renekton ban, I think,
Volibear.
triggers the Jax ban a lot of times. So BLG can still just pick Renekton on 3.
Ne.
I think have a good matchup. They'll still have great ultimates for Silas. They'll still have push with Ashe that can block the Kalista pick. I think they're just getting so much red side value out of these first
Nocturne,
two picks
ok.
already.
Nocturne, Jax,
All I'm
Ahri,
saying
ok.
is, Finn used to be called I Love Camille. So,
Yeah,
always an angle for him to just match
Sure.
firepower with firepower, right? And especially when you've already got a lot of dive, you've got that set up from the Ashe. You don't necessarily need that coming through from your top half of the map either.
Rakan,
Rakan,
Ashe,
gonna try and
Silas.
take the Rakan away from Delight, but also very strong
To
pick for him.
bylo
Looks like,
sus.
but
Okay.
Jax Ashe je good, no.
The good old Freljord bottom lane could be coming
Gnar,
through,
ok, to je
although
taky
Gnar,
good.
as we've seen, sort of
Oni by mu
surging
zabanovali
in
Gnara,
priority
Gnar je
would
good.
be an answer here.
Do Jaxa.
Depends on who you ask,
Okay.
but some can say a self-counter pick. We know that Keen has been pretty outspoken saying that Jax just kind of wins in this matchup, but it's certainly been seen as all sorts of different things over the years.
And I mean, this tells me that the Renekton ban's gone for the rest of the series. The fact that Jack still got first picked, the fact that Renekton didn't get picked whatsoever, but I still really do like the 1-2-3 here from BLG.
I think the biggest problem is actually just the fact that Nocturne is now
Tome.
locked in, because it makes it kind of difficult for
Pojď sem.
BLG to work together on the dive with a
Kajsa
Silas and
ban,
Ahri, but
klasika,
also leaves
Viper
Ashe very
kajsička.
vulnerable. So as everyone jumps in onto the back line, Ashe is kind of left
Já
with her
potřebuji jít
own
vařit, tak
fear.
pojď
She has
japovat
range, but
chvilku. Já to
you
udělám
don't
to
really
maso
have
za
anything to
10 minut,
decide.
ani ne 5.
I'm curious if he even gets
Rýže už je hotová.
to really round out this composition for
Neviděl
on,
jsem
just
Rivček
to
video,
give
ne?
some sort of backline support to Ashe in this scenario.
And we'll see what type of
Pojď,
flexibility
Japing.
BLG can show, because I think they can actually absorb with these 3 picks at the moment.
Yeah.
If they
Jo, Karzi, mám to v plánu.
And if that Renata ban is
Twitch
real, which
ban.
I think it is, I think they can still
Twitch
take
ban.
and just absorb a lot of this dive. But that's not
Ash
the
Brow.
type of team we've seen
Silas Gnar.
in a lot of games. We've seen the full dive teams just matching up against each other. But I really like the angle here. for
Normálně
them
bych
to
vzal
take
tam
more
Kenče,
more
nebál bych se
tech
toho.
champions. I'd love them to lock in this Braum right here.
I feel like they've just been playing really good reactionary League of Legends over the last couple of games. Even in the game that they lost, that was incredibly close for the majority of it. That is going to be the Rakan locked in the end.
Rakan,
They did
co?
have a brilliant performance in
Jafuj,
game number
jafuj.
2, so they're going to stick with that one. And now HLE rounding out their bottom side of the map. No Ezreal.
To blbý je, že Silas není dobrý do Jaxe.
The Twitch ban is
A
absolutely adorable.
oni pikli docela dobrý komp do Silase. Proti tomu, co se stalo předtím, že Silas byl piknutý first pick a pak byl docela dobrý draft.
Safety for the dive.
Oh,
There he is, and he is. It's been a
Hey,
long
Zeri,
time
what
since
the
Thomas.
fuck?
Yeah.
Okay. And Delight is going to lock away the Rel at the same time. Look.
They're going in.
Yeah, they are.
They're going
Zvláštní,
in.
že nikdo nehraje.
We'll see. We'll see about the Zeri.
Řídí ho.
And I figured they're lane swapping anyway, and they're gonna have so much power through the Jax.
Co vám tady mám povídat, hoši, vole?
For the Zeri to be late game insurance.
Jsem nějaký unavený, co jsi přečetl pěkného? Četl jsem nějakou mangu novou. Špatný art to má, ale je to takový ten příběh repetitivní hrozně. To vyhrál za tebe draft? No left side asi.
So I think it is a nice adaptation to go for a jungler that can match some of that team fight potential. Plus again,
Left side, no.
you kind of have an access to
Oni budou swapovat zase Hanva, tak záleží, jak na to bude reagovat Billy, protože by měli vědět, že budou swapovat. A měli by normálně klidně stacknout level 1 kolem midu. Tak Sylas je dobrý čampion, ale prostě, když draftíš proti Sylasovi dobře, tak pak on nemůže hrát, podle mě. Třeba to raz, dva, tři, co udělali, tak je dobrý draft proti Sylasovi. Co? Můžeš udělat? Udělej nám analýzu mistře. Na analýzu jsou tady jiní, třeba Matyáš.
And you can choose which side you win on if they manage to take it this time.
And I think getting a red side win if they're able to do so is just so valuable.
Ale je zajímavý, jako vždycky v těch BO5kách je prostě důležitý, jak se to evolvuje, ty priority v tom draftu, že jo? Viděli jste first pack Sylas, teď na red side oni otevřou Jaxa, aby dostali Sylase. Já si třeba myslím, že to není dobrý, protože Jax už naturálně je dobrý do Sylase. A třeba Jax má teď dobrou hru jak prase. Do toho red týmu. Nějak to jako neřeší tady tyhle ty piky. Kurz 3 na BLG, no nemyslím si, že BLG vyhrál. Jo, budou prostě, tohle je dobrý, oni invadí level 1 s tou Aškou, protože vyhrávají level 1, aby získali info. A teď by měli jít zpátky a normálně tady stacknout. Tady by měli stacknout. A normálně jít 5v5 level 1. Legit 5v5, let's go. Oni vyhrávají 5v5. Je, škoda. Škoda. No a teď tady zůstaňte a musíte jít fishovat pro info, hoši. Oni jinak půjdou bot. Jako třeba teďkom, co mohli udělat ten blue side team, i když je to pozdě, no už. Mohli jít na bot, víš, jako když viděli tu botlinku Ashe, Rakan na topu. To je dobrý, no, to nikdo nedělal v tom, my jsme to zkoušeli hrát takhle, ty swapy, že to mačneš. Protože Ashe je mega silná level 1, no. Oni by měli klidně dát, no, prostě botlane GG. Ty budou dostávat zone. Proč to má takhle nastavený ten mikrák? To je úplný noob. Tady otravuje jenom. You guys are getting denied XP. Big Zeri into Ashe.
I'm also curious what On does off this crash. Not going to look for any sort of invade, I believe, with Sean actually. Although he is not doing his red buff, so maybe they want to look for some sort of play now. He's just going to finish his red buff there, but I think he might need to come and cover mid because Knight getting a hell of a lot of damage put down with Zika. Has just picked over to level 3, so we'll have access to all of his.
Všichni hrajou ten Electrocute do toho Sylas. Já jsem dělal Grasp, to mně se líbil Grasp, ale Guess, ještě Electrocute. Čau, konechka 7. nebe, nevím, člověče. Já chci být Dungeon Dweller, nic nedělat, být doma. Maximálně bych zašel na pivečko s někým pokecat, nechce se mi do klubu vůbec.
You're exactly right, Shun. Looking for a little bit of an angle here as I love it. We've got matching spooky skins as well from our junglers, so jungler synergy I think is actually
Dal jsem si zbytek pici a that's it. Nic jsem nejedl dneska moc.
If it goes anything like it went the first time when opposite players were playing it, the Ahri does win early. It's range versus melee. You have slightly better wave.
A oni nejsou skoro vůbec XP behind.
Sylas keeps it close,
Sorry.
and then as
Když se podíváte na ten malej fialový proužek tady. Jo, počkej, my máme overlay. Jak se ovládá ten overlay, hoši? Je rozbitej. Dej dolů webku. Jak se to dává dolů? Takhle? Já si budu muset udělat něco se stolem prostě. Aleš mi dal, prostě Aleš, kámo, tady v té rodině se všechno vysluhuje. Aleš mi dal svůj starý stůl, se kterým nebyl spokojený, svůj starý počítač, se kterým nebyl spokojený a svý starý monitory, se kterým nebyl spokojený. A je to úplně na hovno, kámo, ten stůl je prostě vysoký, nedá se dát dolů. A prostě hraješ tam takhle, chápeš, jako prostě. Nedá se tam hrát.
In a row when Ben is on the team, like I've never seen that before.
No, I don't understand it. Viper is going to be pushed away from the lane once again, as you can see, as far as CS is concerned, down about 10 as Delight.
Je to trošku těžký pro H2, snažili se swapnout, ale správně mačli. No way.
He might be able to get out of there. The extended range of that extendo beam out from Viper is going to deter them, and BLG will back away.
It was a little awkward from the beginning.
No, mám 60 Hz, hoši, ne, je to fakt špatný. A ty barvy na tom monitoru jsou nějaký divný, budu si muset koupit novej. Napsal jsem fanatiku, jestli mi pošlou domů monitor a doufám, že jinak si musím koupit.
Needs to get a reset in 25 seconds until Void Grubs. Like to spend some of that gold and make sure that he can get his health back up.
Okay, so here towards his bottom side, Doran just once again pushing in another wave. Zeko with control of the mid lane, and as far as tempo in comparison to the last game, it feels so much more even. It feels like BLG sort of had HLE on the back foot.
Se mi líbilo, jak udělali to nový video. To Fnatic Legends in Actions, protože jsme říkali našemu týmu asi 3krát během praktisu a pak ještě před hrou, před official. No hlavně jak kontestí každýho Void grabíka, musíme na to být připraveni a musíme vědět co a jak to zahrát kolem každýho Void grabíka. 0.18. No. Nemusím hrát lolko, ale chtěl bych hrát lolko teďkom, pokud bych měl dobrý počítač, baví mě to.
Dostal jsem namodovaný profil na Lethal Company.
Je tam něco novýho? Já třeba nechápu, jak dostávají vodíky, teďkom jsem se nedíval, ale... Jaký mám elo? Platinum teď jsem dostal rozřazovací. Musím to vytahat. Je tam low elo.
I can confirm I've spoken to him and he did not sound like an android.
Interesting.
So
that's how they get you though.
Yeah, I know. Well, this is the thing, you know.
Never really can ale jako po mně chce, abych japoval.
I was recently watching Battlestar Galactica, so I can confirm that it is very hard to tell them apart. Shun going to be taking the first dragon here. BLG going to be able to at least get that one. So a trade of neutrals here in this early game.
Jde na to. Nocturna has level 6. Are we diving or what? Guys, I don't think you can do shit here. Mají oba dva thumbs up. Ztrácíme vlnu. Ztrácíme vlnu na midu. Mají double thumbs, ale jsme dobří. Okay. Hoší hanva vyhrává, prostě není to možný. To bylo nějaký fishy, ne? To jste měli vědět, že se tam něco děje. A hry se neukazuje na midu. Oni si prostě mysleli, že to obehrajou, víc. Chápu, taky jsem si myslel, že to možná obehrajou. S obama, se všema thumbs up. Ale bylo něco, co prostě my jsme na hry nedělali, no. Prostě press buttons, R on cooldown, kill someone. Proč jsem tak depresivní? Protože jsme prohráli na Worlds, když jsme měli vyhrát proti Weibo. A měli jsme pak dostat FlyQuest na 2-2 draw a měli jsme vyhrát proti FlyQuest a jít top 8 a byl by to úspěch mega. A všichni by byli, oh my god, Fnatic are so good. They are the saviors of Europe. Místo toho všichni hejtí jenom. A taky jsem depresivní z toho, že jsem 9 měsíců dělal 18 hodin denně e-sport a jenom e-sport a neměl jsem nic jiného. A teď mi to skončí, ta sezóna, a nemám co dělat, viď? BLG kouče. Pičo, vole, jak na to chcípneš, když to bylo nejvíc obvious a hry se neukazuje 10 minut na midu, vole. Tam skáču jak retardí do tebe na rel. Kdo má lepší draft?
Feeling pretty good, right? And as a coach, you're walking off that stage and you're feeling like I gave my players exactly what they need to win. And I think that they did, but after this start, things could be getting a little bit hairy. However, do want to just go back to the fact that this is not a massive gold lead by any means. It is one Drake in favor of BLG as well. And these Aries have just been instantly dying.
Mára zkazil všechny, by the way. Mára zkazil oba Korejce.
I think the nice thing for Hanwha though is that they've already sent Doran to this top side. He's going to be able to keep pressure there.
Proč jsme poslední zápas za Red Side? Protože bylo hodně contest picků v té sekce. No z contesty Jackse, který dělal problém v druhé hře, solo to potahal skoro. Chtěli jsme bannout Orianu a dropnout mid, aby jsme mohli na 4-5 pickovat mid, protože jsme chtěli vzít Rel, Jax, Vi. 1, 2, 3 za Skarnera, protože jsme věděli, že musí first picknout Skarnera. A dostaneš Rel a Jaxe a ještě dostaneš pak Vi do Skarnera, což jsme brali jako trade. Skoro even trade, i když Skarner je winning. Tak jsme v podstatě dostali, že věděli jsme, že nehraje Alistara ten týpek, nebo nemá rád Alistara, takže oni prostě cokoliv piknou, tak bude prohrávající do Rel. A měli jsme připravený do Ahry a do dalších piků counterpicks na midu. Jako Hindsight, chtěli jsme hrozně hrát toho Swaina, Hindsight nebyla to úplně nejlepší hra na Swaina, když jsme jezdili Rakana teda. Možná tam byla, já nevím, už to nepamatuju, jestli LeBlanc nebo něco dalšího, co můžeš piknout, ale i tak to bylo dobrý. Akorát prostě early game zase byla minus 3000, protože jsme opičky a neumíme hrát, tak se to nedalo hrát. Jako každou hru jsme prohráli early game do takového levelu, že se to nedá hrát. Kdy budu vědět, jestli pokračuje Fnatic. No, to bude ještě dlouho. Oni si dávají vždycky na čas se vším. Včera jsme si volali a říkali, no, budeme kolektit feedback. Až vykolektíme feedback, tak pak budeme dělat rozhodnutí. Já bych se cítil na nějaký nový projekt klidněji. Uvidí se, nebo pauzu.
Maybe because G2 didn't make it, it's not going to be exciting. But the fans here have just been absolutely incredible. They bring so much hype. They cheer whenever there's a good play. It's just
no nevím, příští rok podle mého bude těžší, protože celý LEC skrz off sezónu, kdo to sleduje, tak si myslím, že dostává level up. Pokud třeba že MDK dostanou lepšího midaře, tak to bude lepší tým, než byl teď. A to už nějakým zázrakem dostali top 3, ale já si třeba myslím, že MDK má mega dobrou botlinku. Asi jednu z nejlepších botlinek v celé lize. Super Alvaro, jsou mega dobří. A co tam je dál? G2 bude asi o něco slabší s těma změnama. Uvidí se. No nějakým zázrakem Blue Side team má 2 killy, jsou even na goldy a mají 3 voidy, takže jsou na tom dost dobře.
But watch how Helmar already moving here. So Shafty Nari down to the bot side, Zeri moving to mid to get mid control to come across pin.
Čet, já budu teďka, já vám pustím castry a já se musím najíst. Jsem hodinu behind schedule. Čekám video od dávky, že jim 3 co streamu.
That is going to be grub number 1 locked down here for BLG. You know that HLE want to be able to get at least one of these. As now Doran looking for a bit of a wraparound, and it looks like it's going to be one grub going over to Hanwha, and BLG are just going to cut their losses and leave.
The Bin was walking up from River, but he'd actually popped Meganar, so BLG in the grand scheme of things wouldn't have been able to go for a proper fight. I think just happy to deny that 6 grub buff to Hanwha there.
And these teams, aside from a little bit of over-aggression in Game 2 by HLE when they were trying to get back in the game, have been incredibly measured about the fights that they actually take right there. So that was teams not wanting to overcommit into what would have been a losing fight. And now they're just going to start setting
Dobrý
up
komentář, mám nejlepší komentář vždycky.
It's also great to see
Dávka je na tebe ready.
going up against the Ari, because when you look at the itemization coming through from Doran, he's definitely going more towards the, hey, I want to go up against the on-hit and R.
Yeah.
As you're going in towards the melee matchup now.
Četl jsem prošvih.
Obviously on the opposite side, because you've got the steel cap boots for Bin as well, but I think when you've got a little bit more range there, it's easier for you to deal with an Ari than the Silas who just wants to jump onto Doran every time.
I will say though, BLG has camped this Silas top lane with no teleport, so the Dragon, if HLE wants to set up and kind
Čau,
of hard force,
Flagane.
in a pretty good position to do so because
Čauko, jsem nový v low komunitě, má hitpoint lepší komentář?
Not to mention the fact that Doran
Já mám nejlepší komentář.
matchup as well up against the Silas has been when, you know, once upon a time Silas was a top laner. Jax didn't do too badly into the matchup. Of course, patches do dictate a little bit of who's going to win out in those ones, but that's sort of my memory trying to kick in there just a little bit.
Tomáš je depresivní, no jenom.
The hex plate as well, and we'll see how that one's going to go. There's a few different
Tak
schools
borci,
of thought
Gnar je
when it
trošku
comes to the
ahead
first item
a hry je
for
trošku
Nocturne.
ahead.
Gentlemen, what are your favorites?
Zeri je ahead.
Yes.
Yeah. I feel like a lot of people like Strybreak.
But Peanut is in
Viper Zeri, to je crazy.
I'm not sure who I'm going to take.
Viper Zeri byla insane. Když byla Zeri OP.
It was Canyon that was the one that just said Hexplate is the best and you should always build that
He's a world
first.
champion.
Tomáš má jo, Tomáš, hele, borci, v momentě, kdy jako pracujete, když děláte jednu věc 14 hodin denně, 8 měsíců v kuse, nebo 10 měsíců v kuse, a pak tu věc přestanete dělat, tak máte prostě depresi z toho, že máte moc volného času. No cap. A Tomáš to zažívá, já jsem to zažíval Tomáš v každý off sezóně Tomáš. Esport off sezóně. Protože ty jsi tak zvyklý na to pracovat 24/7 a něco dělat 24/7. Karzi to zná moc dobře, protože máš 6 měsíců, tak tohle každý rok.
I think BLG are basically saying, look, we don't really want to fight, let's just scale into our 2-item spike. Because a huge amount of it is funnel those resources on towards Knight, leave Bin to actually be able to put pressure into this matchup on the top side. You can see he's got a 600 gold lead for himself, and as long as we are denying a potential dive on the bottom side, we're perfectly happy. Elk can fire off a couple of arrows, maybe fish for a pick, but let's just wait until we hit this second item and we'd really come online.
You can see Bin is going to have that back interrupted. He's ahead by a whole lot of gold, largely to do with the fact that he's, I believe, picked up a few of these plates as well as having a decent CS lead. Same can be said for Zeka in that mid lane. But I believe, like, it feels like both of these teams have a very similar idea on how they want to win the game, and that is not now. As here, bit of a fight towards the bottom side of the map.
Silas outscanul a hry už.
Charm is going to connect though. That should be the disengage that Zeka is looking for, but still, the Silas already looking dangerous.
But now we can start to move up towards this Rift Tower. It's already been started by Hanwha. No teleport available for Knight. But I don't know if BLG are in a position to try and fight for this. You've already got the reset, so Hanwha are going to pick this one up.
Yeah, Peanut just going to be able to take that one away. And as we get the MasterCard lane economy snapshot, it's going to be a lot of red towards the top side of the map. But you can see both carries on HLE looking very, very strong.
A lot of trepidation from both teams in what could be a swing match in this series. Not too shocked to see the snapshot like this. Gnar has generally been able to get extended gold leads in a lot of these
matchups. Ale jako Silas nebude mít 8-0, ne, po tomhle zápase. To snad jako ne.
Yeah, I think the real focal point for me has been how Peanut and Delight are playing around this mid wave. Because Elk has that ultimate available at all points of time, and the ability for On and Shun to destroy Viper is there at a minute's notice. But with how well Peanut and Delight have been, hey, we're going to shove in mid, keep Viper safe, then lean bot side, so Peanut is always in range of his ultimate support people like Zeka. It's made it really difficult for BLG to really open up on the map. Now BLG looking for the trade on map state with the Rift Tower being invested onto this bottom side.
Yep, that's going to be a turret going down. First turret blood over to HLE. That's going to give them a decent advantage, although it's answered immediately, so it is just that extra first turret gold that is able to be picked up as Arrow going to connect, and the immediate collapse comes down to Light. Just did not hit him. Cyclone comes on through as now Peanut's going to join the
Arrow, ale
Paranoia.
divil jsem se, že tam...
It goes off as On looks for that backline, but Zeka, it's a great sidestep and the ulti comes through from the full health Zeri.
Ještě flashne out, lol. Chudák Zeri je úplně useless. Prostě tady úřadujou top laneři, jungleři a midaři. A zase to prostě even, jako kdyby even, ale 2000 goldů Gnar. Ty vole.
HLE Bin cleans up 2 kills. They actually managed to kill Viper at the end of that fight.
Bin to tady bude smurfit.
It's a brilliant collapse from BLG, and one they were setting up for a Knight, hiding in that bush with the Ahri ultimate, and it's the immediate dive after Elk connects with this. You can see the second setup for the Rift Tower is coming through, and it's perfect timing. They immediately jump on towards the light, and as Shun goes in here, everything is used on towards the Wukong who flashes away, which buys time for Knight to get those cooldowns back up. On uses the ultimate through everyone to buy space once more.
Zari ještě prostě nemá vůbec damage. Reálně úplně useless. Gnar dá 3 autoataky a je skoro dead. Ten Gnar je huge, ty vole, to je šílený.
Yeah, once those teleports started coming in, you knew it was on. They've been waiting so long for this fight in this game.
Yeah,
BLG
finally,
close to that red side win.
Yeah, some happiness coming out after turning things around here. 2,000 gold, 1,300 gold. I tell a lie, is going to be the advantage here as HLE looking to try and crash this one through as well. They should be able to take this down. 4Grub's going to be helping out there, of course. And Doran in the side lane is going to be very, very scary unless he gets hit by an arrow.
Are you
from downtown? The chain's going to connect as well. Delight just has to watch, but does provide a leap strike target. And Doran, they do get the turret, and he just makes his way out.
Ještě jenom support. Zeri zatím prostě nic.
That Doran was able to escape this, even though it's likely going to make him reset. How good is Elk? Back-to-back cross-map arrows.
Yeah.
But they're trying to make this into a big tempo play. How long they delayed these recalls.
Yeah, they're trying to delay it because Dragon is in 20 seconds. So if they can deny the back once again, Delight doing a great job of blocking the potential quill there from on.
Když si nový support, confirmed by Karsi. Karsi, já to nemůžu říkat, Já když řeknu, že AD carrier, support nebo useless, tak všichni říkají, že brečím jenom, že jenom brečím. Musíš to říkat za mě ty. Že AD je velice useful. To máš prostě celý world, co o tom, jak hraje tvůj top jungle mid a botlane má 2 supporty.
Try and do battle here for the first Mountain Dragon of the game. Teleport to come through here from Zeka, who just completes his Leandries. That is 2-item spike done here for the Ahri. Could be massive moving into this fight, but look at the Naba onto Bin. Keep your eyes on this now to see what he can get done there as Knight is going to hijack.
Gral nemá flash, ale mají dobrou pozici byli. Tady mají dobrou pozici pro Gnara a asi. Jo, a tady je to free, to je dobrý arrow. Real dobrý jako counter engage, ale tady mají mnohem lepší. Silas má 3000 HP, kámo. Prostě Zeri má 1500 HP a Silas má 3000 HP. 1v4 tankuje všechno, neumírá, one-shotuje. No nic, Aleš Brečínek a Martyáš Brečák. Kámo, ale to je prostě... Prostě vidíš mid lane, top lane, oba dva mají 3000 HP, one-shotují jedním autotekem nebo jedním spelem a pak vidíš AD carry, co má 1500 HP a nedělá nic. Může dát 40 autoteků a ty mideři topaři jsou full HP. To je crazy. Proto dneska budeme hrát top lane. Budeme hrát dneska top lane v solo queue. Má shutdown, má shutdown. Nocturne by si to měl vzít. Jax možná.
You can see Delight, he was right there. They didn't want to take any chances. They're still going to be able to take him down.
Solid shutdown, but overall that fight, BLG was set up on the Drake. They had a nice line of scrimmage set. Bin was about to hit Mega Gnar. It's one of those things where HLE is just not in a good position, so you're kind of just waiting to see who BLG picks to kill. And once that happens, I just don't necessarily know what the plan was here for HLE. The setup was perfect by BLG.
Peanut also just wasn't involved in the fight. Yes, he popped the darkness, but he would have liked to jump on towards the Ash, but with the way BLG was set up, he wouldn't dive into his death, so you're never getting through the Mega Gnar. Exactly, and it was a great trigger pull from BLG to just say, you are not in position, we can take the fight.
Well, this one certainly looking like it's turning towards a BLG favored game. Still, gold lead nowhere near what it was in game number 2. HLE still in with a shot. We'll see what they can actually get done, because it feels like the game plan from BLG is working out a whole lot better.
For sure, and I think even that last fight, the fact that HLE even did that makes me think that they're feeling a lot of pressure, that the game is actually falling out of their control, because it was not a good look. And I feel like if that was in the LCK in a lower pressure match, I don't think they would have actually tried to force that 5v5. So they really need to just reset their mental here, realize they're behind, and try and take some smart fights.
And that's why they're trying so hard to punish Knight on the side lane, because they need to try and deny this 1-3-1 setup. Maybe looking it on here.
Yeah, there's the paranoia to dive in. They should be able to take down Elk. There it goes. The Magnus Storm is going to come through as well. As there's the Cyclone Shun trying to turn this one around is on. He's not going to be able to help out. Still, Viper is dead. And the teleport from Gigabin into that back second, nowhere to go.
Obě AD, který hrál, no. Karze, chceš, voláš mi? Budeš japovat, zatímco já jim? Obě AD, který hrál, no. Nazdar.
Nazdar. A tady vidíme krásný odchyt od Hanvy na Ešku, která neměla summonery. Přesně využili toho cooldownu, ale bohužel BLG byli ready na to zareagovat. Moment. Vidíme, že Hanva čekala out of sight. Na Pinkvardě čekali, než se Eška ukáže, byl to dobrý pokus. Ale bohužel enemy team měl připravené summoner spely a flashly. Obě AD carryčka úplně k hovnu, vymazal bych tu roli. Eška aspoň střelí ultinu a CCčkne někoho na vteřinu. Zeri slow, Zeri W slow je největší.
Ten největší impact, co má, no.
So it's nice to see that he's made it to Paris again.
Absolutely. Looking like he's doing his job well at the same time, and especially
Tady vidíme, že ani jeden z Hanwha Live solo lanerů se nemůže ukázat na sidelince, jinak jsou instantně one-shotnutí, přiletí tam Wukong s 30 itemama, jeden spell, one-shot náhry, incant play. Musí se chudák schovávat v keři, nemůže ani.
Že zapomněl si Starak, že mají 1000 HP štít a 60 AD. A 20 tenacity až 500 HP ze Staraku. Co budou dělat teďka, ty vole, jako?
Nic, já bych dal open a šel do další. Doran.
Straight between the uprights, but in the best way.
Ty vole, tak to bylo krásné, ale to bychom viděli jenom od Morčáka nebo Necromartina na piku.
No.
No, 4K skoro na topu. Hra vypadá krásně. Tady ta Zeri bude štípat. Podle mě, i kdyby ta Zeri se teď spavnula z 5 itemů, tak prohrajou.
On je right click na ten Dignar, no.
Yep.
Back in like 2022 spring on this champion, but we haven't really got to see him bring it out in the international stage.
Týpek right clickne, mezi tím si skočí na záchod po kebabu, vykadit se pořádně, vrátí se pentakill, protože ho čem prostě uautokuje všechny, autoatakuje.
Dobrý, no. 3 autoataky.
Rel one shot.
Rel v pohodě. A to má ten nesmrtelnost, ten štít.
Je jako nesmrtelnost.
No, má ten support item, co dá, redukuje damage.
Jo, aha. Dobrý čang na Juna. Vejda hry na maučko. No tak to, no tak to není dobrý. Uhni tomu!
Jo,
Jezeka.
Flash ult od Bina, čus.
Zeri musí flashovat, klencovat ulti, kajtit 500 autoataků, aby dala Nara do Staraku. Pak prokne Starak, Bin se nasere one-shotný autoatakem. Já se divím, že hrajou Zeri, ten čem je docela useless, ne?
No.
Jako tenhle draft by měl být dobrý pro Zeri a Nevypadá to moc.
No, já jsem si říkal, že bude dobrá Zeri tady, ale zapomněl jsem na to, že to je AD carry v roce 2024.
Jako vypadá to, nemají zas tak moc engage, který na ně jako může shopsnout. Všechno může buffernout nebo dodgenout.
Dívej, lechtá toho Gnára. 3
Vole,
autotaky, Gnary dá 3 autotaky.
Do barole.
Unlucky.
Má ninja taby,
Prostě hraješ AD carry a on hraje top lane.
On má ninja taby, tak to chápu, že mu AD carry nedává damage. To je, jak kdyby dokončil run, ninja taby, to je Granduins a Frozen Heart v jednom. Ještě
Jo.
Down to about a 3,000 gold advantage. We're going to have a look at this one more time around this dragon.
And this is where it's just very difficult because hang on, never mind.
Never mind, there's another battle coming on through here as the arrow is going to connect as Peanut spell shields it because he wants to kill a blue buff and he will not be delayed.
Extra quick as well, thanks to the attack.
Halo, mám divný mikrofon, ale ještě jde to špatně slyšet? Slyšíš taky špatně nebo jenom na
ne, dobrý.
I do want to say though, like the way BLG are playing around Elk is really good because he is so vulnerable in this game. And we actually haven't got to see that because every time he's pushing it midway for objectives, he has help. He has someone to protect him, and now on trying to play security guard for Knight on the top side.
Zeri má 3 itemy, ne? Teď bude dávat damage Gnárovi. Přece Gnár má jediný defenzivní item ninja taby, ne? Jinak všechno je to damage itemy.
Cože, ještě jednou to zopakuj, prosím.
Jim.
Žereš?
Jo, a že teďka Zeri bude dávat damage, ne? Má 3 damage itemy proti Gnárovi, který má taky 3 damage itemy, ale má jenom ninja taby jako defenzivní item.
No, jo, to one shot na
Tak
zač.
teď Zeri to one shot, ne?
Určitě ano. Pokud Nar dostane stun na 10 vteřin, tak ho určitě zabijou. Ale má Sterax a Vicen, takže má vlastně 100% tenacity a jediný stun, co může dostat 1,5 vteřiny. Kdyby ho 3 ješky trefili ultinou přes celou mapu, tak to je na půl vteřiny. S těma hlightama.
He's going to take that as an invitation for more Biffo, but they're not going to actually commit to anything.
And it's also Zeka, or it's also Zeri without an enchanter.
Šekcápek si dojde zpátky do Německa pro kebab a zpátky a ještě nebude mrtvej.
Nebude. No v Paříži podle mě ten kebab bude ještě horší než tam ten, co žral, jak se z něho pokakal.
Jo, já nemůžu kouknout na to, kolik má goldu, Bin. Škoda.
Jak to?
Broken overlay.
Kamu Zeka tady vypadá dneska jak Čovi docela, jak šel na kameře. Když se na to budeš soustředit. Subarashi.
Ono by bylo celkem funny, kdyby Zeri měla stejně goldu jako Gnár, což je asi jako nemá, ale...
To nemá, no. Bude tak 1500 behind. No ale on potřebuje LDR a jde teď BTčko, to je, on potřebuje 6 itemů prostě, aby potal tuhle hru.
Potřebuje, no, 6 itemů.
A boty, 6 itemů a boty.
Not so far this game though. This Rel has not been able to find quite the things that he's wanted to get going.
No ale a hry tady proti Bruiseru mi přijde úplně useless, actually.
Je, no.
Ten champion
je
do Bruiseru.
hodně dogshit tyhle worlds. A i prostě to, oni to piknou do Silase a ten Silas prostě od levelu 10 už outskillnul tu hry, tak já nevím, proč to pikou.
Yep.
Tuhle hru to pikli jako do toho, no.
Doesn't matter that much aside from the lost gold, and at least HLE can clear the vision. Because if they get the right pocket of vision with which they can Nocturne ult and one-shot Elk with, that could be a way for them to prevent this soul going over.
And again, this is what I was talking about. Knight
Ach jo, to je smutné. A jo, oni mají to, 2 draky ještě. Mountain.
To je kurva.
Bin je level 17, je, no.
This is the way that BLG were moving in
Kivatar, díky za 11.
right? It was just, we want this, we're just gonna all move in. We are ready for a fight and they are once again set up immediately.
Tak, Knight má hry ult, Zeka už nemá ult. Dobrý engage. Ale škoda, že má půl vteřiny CC, no, ten Gnár.
Ale nemá Sterax, už nemá Sterax. Ale Zeri nemá účko. A Rakan tak nemá ulty.
Teleport at the ready as Doran diving on forward, doesn't find an engage angle.
Ale tohle je dobrý, jestli vezmou toho draka, tak mají furt šanci.
Jack dostává one shot.
Mají
Zary to
draka, mají
dala, Zary to
draka.
dala.
Nice. Vipa. Doran flash.
Ajajajajaj, Sylasino.
On to ještě side.
Ještě to dodgenul, no, to je insane god. A Bintu je full HP, protože má TP, XD.
Ještě je GG. Ty vole, co jim tam dělá? To je malfight.
Je to malfight, vole. Však má 3200 HP, ten Sylas, vole, one-shotuje to jedním spelem. To solo linky jsou balanced.
Proč mu resetuje ta Ahrulka? No to je její pasivka, ne do prdele.
Nevím.
To se vždycky dělo?
Jo, mám pocit, že jo.
Aha, to je disgusting. To je úplně. Sylas za Ahrulky, no.
Ne, prostě kdo má lepšího midaře a topaře, tak vyhraje.
Yep, ale na Worlds to je vždycky o topside.
Jo.
Nepamatuju si, kdyby někdo vyhrál kvůli tomu, že prostě měli lepší botlinku. Minulý Worlds to byl Zeus, co tam smurfil. Předtím to byl Zeka na midu v Diarex. Předtím to byl Showmaker... Ne, hovno. Kdo to byl? Předtím to byl... Actually Viper, kámo. 2021 Viper potahal World. Takže jeden rok z 15 prostě potahalo AD Carry World a zbytek topside.
Wow, block. Boboje.
Still HLE. I mean, they survive, but they're pushed away from their own jungle, not able to get that money, and everything is going wrong as we move towards the late game.
There's just no way for Doran to get gold at this stage in the game because the Baron push is going to be so fast.
No, slyšel jsi, jak Tomáš glazoval Alvara a Supu? Tady na tom streamu?
Ne.
Mě tady glazoval prostě.
To fakt?
Yep.
Either Delight gets the absolute god tier engage or the BLG overcommits somewhere.
Já jsem si myslel, že jsme s Tomášem kamarádi, ale tímhle to skončilo. Pak mu dej pěst, prosím.
Dobře.
Budeš mít čas.
Yep, two-level advantage as well as far as those top laners, so nothing that Doran can really do. But that's been the story of the majority of this game. Knight steals away the paranoia as well. That might be able to get
Za chvíli má Jaynard na dalším resetu.
To bude sranda, no.
No, dobrý čan. Ale nemá, Aška nemá flash? A to je úplně jedno, jestli zabiješ. Týpek má Zoniu, by the way.
Zoniu, no. on ví, kámo. Že prostě, on je tam na to, aby ho fokusnuli a on vydržel co nejdíl. Nic jinýho.
And this is what they look like domestically. Super strong solo laners.
Yo.
Is going to be at least buffered there by Zeka. Paranoia does come down. Knight utilizing that one has a hijack immediately. Well, almost immediately. Level 18 Silas just barely has a cooldown on that one, so we'll see what he's going to be picking up next.
To je možná oni flashnou, jo, to jsem čekal.
Nice.
Že nemají synknutý reset. To bylo obvious. Hustý. To je dobré.
Ano, to je výborné. Actually, to se děje hrozně často. Za AD carry, když resetuješ a vidíš, že všichni resetnou před tebou, pak máš malý hard, tak...
Jo.
Hlavně posíďování.
A je to pojíčka. Nic se neděje.
Já si myslím, že jak můžu vyhrát, když Zeri bude mít 4 itemy.
Jo? Jako Zeri to je good, no. Ale... Jako Zeri do 4 milíček. Jediný co, tak uvidíme, co udělá ten minignár proti té Zeri, no. Jako jestli right clickne, když Zeri bude mít 6 itemů, tak se obávám, že musíme udělat read longer, nebo tweet longer, že AD carry je useless.
Tweet longer. Myslíš, že jako zajímá nějaký náš tweet longer?
Ale když bychom to udělali sofistikovaně a dobře, tak to podle mě pohne s Riotem.
Tak jo, tak to můžeš udělat a to retweetnu pak.
Ne, dík.
Mně je to jedno, já začnu hrát mage na botu prostě.
Jo.
the Gnar and the Wukong
True.
seems to be just too high.
These item spikes are absurd as well. You got a death cap coming in from Knight. You've also got a Seeker's arm guard just casually there for Elk as well. So if they do dive on top of him again, he can go golden. Has a bit of an answer here as now Peanut gonna get stunned up here.
Dobrý, no.
This is a little bit too far forward. Does get
Řekl bych, že prostě mid a top jsou balans.
Medek shot nevypadá zase tak špatně.
Já bych řekl, že jo.
Nebo? OK, možná.
Gnar má
Vipa. Ale dívej. O, Viper.
Dostane Wukong na hlavu bambus, čus.
Je, ale hrál to krásně.
Zahrál si. O! Top laner! Top
Planer
laner!
1v5.
Top laner!
Další top
Top
laner.
laner!
Další top laner. Ale
Jo.
RIP. 2 top laneři tam 1v5.
Kdyby dal do líp zónu, tak možná jo. To by tam zabil 2 třeba.
And BLG are marching down on bot side, taking the red side.
607 bin, 4000 gold ahead. Papa.
No, manšot. Já jsem prohrál body do prdele na sásce, ty vole.
Za Zelanvu. Okay.
BLG.
Gigabin, no. Nejde nic.